Hey everyone, it's Matt Willis coming at you today from Technique Tuesday inside my house, doorway to my pantry, talking about some equipment that we're all going to be getting a lot more familiar with over the next few months with all of the weather coming in. South Texas decided to say, oh yeah, it's supposed to be cold outside. So we went from 95 to 37 just in the blink of an eye. So that was a fun run this morning. But today, we're going to talk about the technique for different kinds of pull-up variations that you can work on and some things that you either just might want to avoid or just not do in general, some kind of misnomers for a lot of upper body pull training like that. So first off, with any pull-up bar that you're going to find at any big box store, the majority of them are going to secure to the frame in some way and push against your doorway itself. Always pop a couple towels there, make sure that you don't mark and scuff things up. All right. Now, number one, we're going to talk about kind of arm placement and width, because one thing that I see a lot of in gyms and just a lot of people trying to work on pull-ups in general is they always have their arms like really wide, just throwing them out there to the, if it's a lat pull down, it's at the absolute edges of the bar, or if it's a pull-up, they're using the widest grips possible. You don't need to do that. All it's doing is it's reducing your range of motion. So you're getting, that much of a pull versus this much. So this is actually going to be better for what we need to do, because let's be honest, how often are we complete, corner to corner lock essentially this far apart when we're traversing any kind of obstacle? It's very rare, and usually that's just when we're in mid-swing. So the best thing that you want to do is make sure that your hands are kind of going up to where you're able to make an L with your arm, and it doesn't need to really go out any further than that. So that's going to give you the most efficient range of motion for a pull-up. All right, so no need to throw your arms out wide or anything like that, because that can also put additional stress on your shoulder, some of your other joints, and so it can be not just that it isn't going to work enough, but it can also put additional stressors on parts of your body that you really don't want to do. All right, so when we're talking about pull-ups in general is anything that's going to be hands forward. So whether it's a standard grip, whether it's a narrow grip, anything that your palm is facing away from you, that is a pull-up. Anything where where your palms are facing toward you are going to be chin-ups. And those are going to be working different muscle groups. So when, the reason why you want to be able to work both is because they're going to help you traversing complicated obstacles. So say you're going on a monkey bar obstacle and they're using those like 2 or 2.5 inch radius, those big fat bars right there. A lot of times on those, it's actually easier to reach forward with an opposing grip, because your biceps are going to be a little bit stronger, more stable for when you're going across, but you still need to be able to work and build those muscles up. So with a chin up, they don't need to be nearly as far out as a pull-up. That actually can put some weird stress on your wrists. Keep them nice and inside. And nice, smooth motions. And that leads us to our next segment. Do not start throwing yourself around. When you're doing any kind of pull-up, chin-up, all that, you want to make sure that the motions are slow, controlled, and most importantly, deliberate. You need to control when you're moving up, when you're apexing, and control your descent down. Because if you're only working the positives, just pulling hard and then dropping, number one, you're not working the negative muscle movement, which is something that you need to have. Because if you're doing, say, a Stairway to Heaven style obstacle, you need to be able to load that weight to bring yourself back down. So if you never load and come down controlled, your body's not going to be used to that. All right. The other thing is also you can hurt yourself really badly. So don't drop your weight quickly when you're at the top. Make sure that that you finish the rep. Going down is part of the rep. That is one of the most important things you can remember for any pull-up, any chin-up. Moving down is just as important as going up. All right? So with that, there really isn't much else to talk about other than some variations that you can do and work on in between. So with this, because I have ins and outs right here, one of the nice things about this is that you can also do hand change variation position changes. So that is extremely important because we're having to go sometimes from a rope to a pipe to a ring to a ball to this, and so you're having to move and change your hands at any given point. So one of the best things you can try and do here is get yourself in a loaded position and move and try and keep your swing down to a minimum. You're gonna have some, but that way you can move, keep your body kind of tensed up. That way, as you change your grips, you kind of get used to having to constantly load an arm at a time and even just hang. Just give that a go and then hang on another. Watch out for running into your own cabinets. Now, finally, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Kipping. Kipping will help on obstacles because part of getting through a race quickly is getting through obstacles efficiently and in one try. So if in a race, you need to just get up and explode as hard as you can, that's great. But what I recommend is that you're not really doing that much in training. When you're doing training, you really want to get your muscles just kind of trained in more volume, because that's going to help you on race day, because then you're going to be able to do more of them. So say if you do an explosive kip and you miss the grip. Okay, do another one, miss the grip. If you are on your second or third one and then you just have nothing left in your arms, that's because you didn't get yourself used to doing all the strict guys. So, and on top of that, kipping on one of these things is nearly impossible. I have seen many of fail YouTube video where someone attempts it and then it just unhooks and they just eat dirt in their own house. So try to stay away from kipping with these if you can. If you have a pull-up bar like put up in your garage, or have a home gym that's actually like mounted to the wall, that like one of those rogue, like, you know, triangular set ones, then okay, go from there. But I still highly recommend that you work more on strict style pull-ups and chin-ups and save the kipping for race day. All right, now, with all that said, I get to go for another run, and you guys saw my face right there, but this guy makes it a lot better. So this is my Apex jacket from High Elite. Absolutely love this thing. It is a stupidly good base layer, or kind of a little base jacket, sorry. So great windbreaker, kind of gives me all the protection that I need from all the craziness out there, especially with the wind and rain and whatnot. Guy can adjust. And it's super lightweight. It does a great job. And on top of that, when it needs to go into a gym bag or into a bag, like say if I have to travel for work or something like that. I mean, part of flying is dealing with limited space, and this jacket gets tiny, just rolls up into a little ball. So you can just throw this in any gym bag and it'll fit in virtually any pocket. So getsahighly.com. They have a whole lot of winter gear that's actually on fall sale right now. So can't really beat it. I'm actually also wearing their shorts for this run that I'm about to go on. And I honestly can't recommend them enough. Their stuff has been bulletproof, and I've actually been wearing Highly stuff for about 7 years now. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. So thanks for joining me for this Technique Tuesday. Like I said, you don't need to go all wide. Keep your hands wide enough to where you can make L's. Pull-ups are palms facing out. Chin-ups, palms facing in. And work on variations of hand grips. So thanks again for joining me, guys. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you on the course.